Hello. I felt like doing things slightly different today. So we'll get started on our knees, hands and knees. So you're going to place the knees slightly away from the hips. So your hips are just in front of the knees and the hands are a little further forward, so just a little wider than normally. And then you start focusing on your breath. As you exhale, you feel how your natural corset is tightening ever so slightly. So it feels as if your waist is lengthening and tightening a little bit. And inhaling and exhaling, doing that same thing again. So when you inhale, your belly drops down to the floor. And as you exhale, you feel how everything is being pulled together without changing the shape of your spine. One more time. And exhaling. Now you keep your arms straight, but you drop your chest, your ribs down to the floor. So you're really hanging in your shoulders, sagging. Allow that to happen. Do not bend your elbows, keep the arms straight. And then you press yourself up, still keeping the spine in that same shape. Pressing up, 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 all the way up. And then drop the chest all the way down again. And up, pressing up. I'll do that one more time. Drop the chest all the way down. And then all the way up. Then you find the middle. So you feel how you're pressing ever so slightly. Your shoulders are nicely connected to the ribs. You're not hanging, your ribs are not hanging. And your spine is in a fairly natural shape. Then you're going to press your shins into the mat. And you allow the tailbone to roll, to drop all the way down to the floor. So you're going to curve your lower spine. I'm really pressing with my arms. I press myself ever so slightly back, curling my tailbone all the way around up towards my navel, pressing the shins into the mat and pressing myself backwards with my arms into a deep, deep stretch. And then you come back, hips come forward, and you start pulling with your arms, opening the chest forwards, allowing the chest to reach forwards, not so much the neck. And then exhaling, starting to press the shins into the mat, tailbone down. And it's as if you pull your thighs in towards each other. They're not really moving, it's just that intention as you press yourself back. Stretching the lower back, dropping the tailbone. You're not using the glutes too much. See if you can allow it to come from within the abdominals. And then pulling forward, opening the chest. Now keep that chest open. Widen the sit bones. And then press yourself back again. Widening the sit bones this time. And you might want to slide your arms a little further forwards. Pulling, reaching the sit bones one way and the arms the opposite direction. And then coming back up. Pulling everything a little closer, opening the chest. And then pressing back. Sit bones wide, folding deep into your hip joints. Deep. Feel how those thigh bones go deep into your hip sockets. And then coming back up. And we'll do that one more time. Keeping the chest open. Pressing back. And now from here, you're going to tilt the pelvis all the way the other way around. Sit bones come closer together. Make that spine round in the opposite direction. Pressing your shins into the mat. And pressing yourselves all the way back up. Now bring the hands underneath the shoulders. And the knees underneath the hips. You're going to open your right arm out to the side and dive in underneath the left armpit. Rotating the ribs. Keep your left arm straight. Press into that left arm. Pelvis stays where it is. Just drop the ribs and then open the right arm out to the side again. And again, diving it underneath, allowing the ribs to rotate. Spine is not doing much. Pelvis stays in that neutral position. Last time. Placing the right arm back, opening the left arm out to the side. And then dive the left arm underneath. Rotating, reaching. And again, 2 more of these. Nicely rotating. It's more about allowing it to happen than really forcing the ribs to rotate. So imagine your left lung here dropping down to the floor and the right lung floating up to the ceiling. Place the hands next to one another. And then float so your spine is in a pretty neutral position. Check your pelvis. We tend to stay in this position. So see if you can allow the sit bones to go a little wider. And then float your right hand and your left knee just off the mat. A millimeter. Nothing else moves. Reach the crown of the head. So you want to keep the head aligned with the spine and then release head, hand and knee. And then change. Think of lengthening the spine as you stay here and move as little as possible. We'll do 2 more on each side, alternating. You press in that supporting arm and the supporting leg. And you want to make sure that your elbow is ever so slightly bent so it's not locked. And we'll do 1 more on each side. And the other side. And release. Now you're going to float the right hand and the left knee off, like we did, and then start reaching them away. So we'll stay here for a little bit. You want to press in your supporting arm, reach the crown of the head a little further, reach that left leg, turn it in a little bit so the inside of the thigh is reaching up to the ceiling. And you want to think of the thigh being higher than the foot, really opening the hip, and then you come back. Changing to the other side, same thing. Reaching, first you get there, and then you see if you can tweak it a little bit. Turning the inside of the right thigh up to the ceiling. Think of reaching your thigh higher than the foot. Reach the crown of the head in the opposite direction, lengthening and all the way back. 2 more of these on each side. See if you can lengthen a little further. Go on a little more. Reach, come on. That's it. And back. And the other side. First you get there, then you want to really lengthen, check the shoulders, reach that leg away, reach the crown of the head in the opposite direction a little more. Come on. Yes. And that's it. 1 more on each side. What's your chest doing? Can you open it a little more? Can you reach the leg longer? Yes, you can. Go on. And last one on the other side. Really reaching. And back. Now we're going to move a little forwards. So you want to extend one leg, tucking the toes into the mat, and then the other. We're not going to plank yet. Bending the elbows, you come all the way down until you're lying down. And we go onto our side. Legs are bent. Your bottom arm is straight. Hips are stacked. And then you float the top leg up a little bit. And then you start pressing that leg away, flexing the foot, really reaching, keeping the hips stacked. And these ribs are leaning into the mat. And then 4 more. 4. And 3. We'll do another 2. Think of this sit bone sticking out as you bend the leg. And the last one. And then we add the arm to it. So you bend the leg, reach your arm up to the ceiling and reach arm and leg away from each other. Really lengthening. and 2. Then we do another 3. And this is number 3, reach. And 2. And the last one. Keep the leg where it is, but place your hand on the mat or on your hip, and then reach the leg up. 1 and 2 and 3. You really want to think of lengthening. 4 and 5. We'll do another 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, last 1. Keep the leg parallel to the floor, then swing it forward and backward. Now you really want to make sure the hips stay where they are, so maybe the movement is small, that's great. Focus on the movement back where you really open this hip. 2 more. And the last one. Then swing the leg, circle it around. 1, 2. You're still reaching. 3, 2 more. 2. Last one and reverse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And bend the leg. And then swing the legs over to the other side. Bottom arm is straight, legs are bent, hips are stacked, ribs are stacked, shoulders are stacked. Float your top leg up and reach it away as if you're pressing something really heavy out. And then bending, sticking the sit bone out. And 2. We'll do another 3. And 2. And then after this, we're going to add the arm. Reach the arm up and then press arm and leg away. 1 and 2. We'll do another 3 and 2. And the last one. Keep reaching the leg. Place your hand on the mat or on your hip and then reach the leg up. 1 and 2. 3, 4, 5. We do another 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. Keep the leg parallel to the floor. Swing it back and forwards. Really reaching back. 2 and 3. 2 more. Last one. We go for circles, circling up and around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Reverse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Then you come onto your bellies. You're going to place the hands on top of each other and your forehead on your hands, wiggling the pelvis a little bit, just allowing the pelvis to settle. You tuck the chin in gently so the forehead's on the hand and the back of the neck is nice and long. Maybe you adjust your clothing. And then you're going to exhale and float the left leg just a little bit off the mat. Just a little bit. Have a look. There's not much happening. You don't want to squeeze the glutes, so see if you can lift it from your thigh, really. And again, you want to think of your thigh going higher than the foot, like we did before. And the inside of the leg ever so slightly turning up to the ceiling. And release. Your head stays on your hands. Reaching the right leg up. And release. We do 4 more on each side. And see if you can slide down your shoulders a little more onto your back. You want to feel as little movement as possible in the pelvis or the ribs. I'll do 1 more on each side. And the other. releasing the legs. Now you're going to place your hands behind your head, interlacing the fingers. My elbows are still on the mat. Have a little look before you get going. So I press my head up into my hands and I pull the head that direction away from the shoulders. And then I float my elbows just a millimeter off the mat. Like that. This is it. It's forward, not more than that. My glutes are not gripping, so see if you can just work the backs of the legs but not the glutes. And then release. Now you give it a go. Hands behind the head. Elbows are on the mat. Shoulders down the back. And then start pressing your head up into your hands, reaching the crown of the head forwards. Pulling with your hands almost as you slide your shoulders in the opposite direction. Your legs are ever so slightly working. If you feel this in your lower back, maybe try it with the elbows on the mat, release. Because you can perfectly do this with your elbows still on the mat, just pressing the head up into your hands and reaching the crown of the head forwards. Give it a try like this. And if you feel that in between your shoulder blades, and your shoulders are still on the ribs, see if you can float your elbows off the mat. And release. 2 more like this, just the head pressing up and reaching forward, the crown of the head is reaching. And release, 1 more. Finding that length in the spine. And release. Now place your hands in front of you. And you can put them pretty wide, just whatever your shoulders like. Since I'm on a wall, I can't put them wide. I put them a little closer together. Remember that feeling of your head pressing into your hands. You want to still have that. So you start with your head in your hands, elbows on the mat. Keeping the head there. Straightening the arms. Opening them a little wider maybe. And then you press into your right arm and your left leg. Press them down into the floor, right arm, left leg. And then the other arm and leg floats up just a little bit. Like we just did. And release. Changing side. Pressing left arm, right leg into the mat, so the other arm and leg floats up. And release. You keep going. As you keep going, see if you can feel those imaginary hands behind the head, really lengthening the spine. I want you to think more about lengthening the spine and really what arms and legs are doing. And if you feel this in your lower back, maybe drop the head a little further down. Think of lengthening even more rather than bring it up. And we'll do 1 more on each side. Last one. And you're going to circle your arms all the way around, keeping the head into those imaginary hands, pressing and reaching. And then your arms go up and 2, 3, 4, 5, and another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Circle the arms all the way back. Place the hands on top of each other and you fold your hands for a mini break. Now we'll do that again. Head coming up, reaching your sternum forwards, opening the arms up, and then circling the arms all the way around. Palms of the hands facing down. Arms go up 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, and another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the arms back. Interlace the fingers. Press the elbows into the mat. Really pull your sternum forwards. Then you're going to kick, kick, kick. Reach the leg like we just did and release. Other side. Kick, kick, reach, and release. And reach, release. And I'm really pulling with my arms to keep my upper body quiet. I don't want to have a moving upper body like this. You want to keep it quiet by pulling with your armpits almost. Kick, kick, and release. Lengthen. 1 more on each side. Kick, kick, reach, and kick, kick, Reach. Now you press yourself up into a child's pose. Knees nice and wide, arms wide. Really reaching. And breathing into that lower back. Stretching. And you come up. You're going to turn around so you're sitting with the hands behind the thighs. Pulling yourself up so you sit really nice and tall. And then as you exhale, you roll off the sit bones. Shoulders are sitting on the ribs. Shoulders are pretty relaxed. Sliding the feet. They stay on the mat as long as they can and not coming all the way. Releasing head and shoulder. Exhaling, softening the ribs. And then pressing the thighs into your hands, rolling all the way up until you sit nice and tall. We'll do 4 more of these, rolling off the sit bones. And exhaling, softening the ribs, head and shoulders come up, pressing the thighs, feet want to go down and then come all the way up. 3 more. Take your time, see if you can really do it without using too much momentum. Exhaling, softening the ribs. That's where it happens. And then you come up. 2 more. And exhaling to come up. Feel those elbows slightly bent, shoulders wide. And nice and tall, maximum length. Last one down and up. And all the way up. Now you're going to either open your knees out to the side, really sitting on your sit bones, or you're going to straighten the legs, not width apart. The main thing is you can also bend your knees. I really want you to sit on your sit bones with your ribs right above the pelvis. Bringing the hands behind the head, and again pressing the head into the hands, lengthening the spine. Exhaling, ribs are softening. Keeping the length into a long, long curve. I'm still pressing my head into my hands, inhaling into the back, lengthening a little more, and then coming back. The exercise is called spine stretch. I want you to think of that. First the ribs, keeping the length, then curving, inhaling into your back, and exhaling, coming up. We'll do 3 more. Lengthening, deflating the balloon of your lungs completely, and that makes you curve, keeping the length in spine. Pressing the head gently into your hands. Inhaling to lengthen a little further in the back. And then coming up. 2 more. Reaching. And coming all the way up. We'll do that 1 more time. Make them a beautiful one. Inhaling. And back up. Open your arms up to the ceiling. Lengthening the spine as you exhale, you rotate to the right. And to the other side. 4 more. That's 4. And 4. And 3. If your legs are straight, your toes are all pointing up to the ceiling, so the feet are flexed. We'll do 1 more on each side. And the last one. And then bring the legs all the way together. You can choose whether you're going to roll down with the hands behind the legs, or actually the hands straight, because we're going to roll down but keep the legs where they are, or you straighten the legs and you roll down all the way Then bending the legs, placing the feet quite close to your pelvis. We'll do a few bridges here. Pelvis is gently rolling back, allowing that navel to drop down. Ribs are soft as the hips are floating up and the sacrum is floating towards the backs of the knees. Then reach the arms over your head, keeping the chin tucked in. Press a little more so you can open the hips, soften the ribs, and then articulating the spine down, one rib after the other, releasing all the way. And the arms come back. 4 more to go with a little extra on the last one, rolling up. And again, you want to think of lengthening the spine. Press the feet into the mat, float those hips up. Soften the ribs a little more, yes. Drop them down towards the floor. Arms come up, think of the ribs, and then soften down. Still pulling with your feet. Keep that length increasing, and the arms come back. 3 more. Up. And you very gently want to think of the insides of the legs pulling towards each other. Very gently. If you have an inflatable ball, like a small ball, you can put it in between the thighs and gently press into it. 2 more. And coming up, floating. It's as if there's little strings pulling the hips up and little strings pulling the ribs down. Arms come up. And then softening. Sternum coming down. Hip back coming down. Lower back coming down. And then the pelvis. Release the pelvis. Sit bones wide. Arms come back. Last one with a little extra. You come up into your bridge. You stay up into your bridge. Press the hands into your hips. Press a little more into your left leg for the right leg to float up. Reach it all the way up to the ceiling. Bend the leg and release. Changing sides. Press into your right leg. Keep the hips level. Left leg comes up. Reach, bend, and release. 2 more on each side. Keep the hips level. Reach, bend, release. Press into the supporting leg. We'll do 1 more on each side. This is 1. And the other side. And release. Reach the arms. Give it a really nice, slow last one. Still lengthening the knees away over the feet. And then you either roll yourself up with your legs bent or with the legs straight. It's up to you. And you're going to come into a little hands and knees position on our way to a plank. So the hands are underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. You're going to extend one leg, tucking the toes into the mat. Open the chest and then extend your other leg. It's perfectly fine to stay here in your plank for a little bit. If you want to challenge, you turn over to the side. Reach one arm up to the ceiling. Maybe stack the feet. And maybe flip one leg up. 1, 2, 3. Back into your plank. If you're still in your plank and you've had enough, go into your child's pose. While we do the other side, see if you can stack the feet. And float the legs up. 1, just 1 leg up. 2, 3. Not my favorite side. Back into your plank. And then into our mermaid position. Good. Almost there. We can do it. Over to the one side. Opening the ribs. Shoulders down. Inhaling into the back. And then over to the other side. And again. Just moving from side to side. As slow or as fast as you like. And the last one to the first side. Diving the top arm underneath. 1 and 2. 1 more. 3. All the way back, changing the legs. There we go. Shoulders, breathing into your top lung. And up. And over. Thinking of a long spine moving nicely, fluidly, side to side. We'll do one more to each side. This is one. And the last, diving the top arm underneath. 1 and 2 and 3. Coming all the way back. In whatever position you like. Opening the arms out to the side, flexing the fingers, reaching all the way up, shoulders nice and wide. Thank you very much.